All right. Well, hey, Jim, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
This is kind of different, isn't it? I mean, you're here in your normal spot, but there's not
No,
any kids right
no
now.
kids. I miss them too.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So tell me a little bit about how you became the candy man.
Well, uh, just started doing it. Another gentleman used to give them a mint off a roll, but I just thought of what I give them, I need to be individually wrapped so it'd be clean, and try to have them some nice stuff that they like. And
Yeah.
sometimes I buy something they don't like, and I end up have to throw it away after so long. But I bought some licorice one time, and
What kind of licorice?
it was little sticks.
Like the cherry kind, or
Yeah,
like
the cherry kind.
Okay, the black
But-
stuff's kind of.
But they didn't like it. They didn't. Some kids did. But very few.
Yeah.
And I don't like it myself, so I have not bought any more.
So that didn't last very long.
No, I don't know whether they have a favorite candy. I think your kids like the little balls,
Gobstoppers.
gobstoppers.
Yeah. Caden was collecting those for a while.
Oh,
He has a jar full, and now he's going through and eating them.
oh, is that
He
right?
didn't eat them for like 2
But
years.
I was just noticing in here a while ago. Now, if they find one like this, no, they'll throw it back because it's only got one piece in it.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
And I tell them I don't have any control over that. A lot of times I say, well, you get you one, you can have that one that's got the single in it.
Right.
Because I don't know.
What do you enjoy about giving candy to the kids? You've been doing it for more than a couple years, haven't
yeah,
you?
Yeah, I've been doing it about 35 years, I guess. I like the hugs and the smiles and even the ones that act up once in a while, try
sure
to
you
grab
never get
more
any of
than what
those.
they need to get, but they just do it a joking with me,
Yeah.
and well, like I said, I love the hugs and the way that they're just kids. But I've seen them. I'm giving kids candy now that I gave it to their parents years ago.
Yeah. When I look down the hallway on Wednesday night, there's usually a mass of people right here in the hallway.
Yes.
Which is kind of neat to see because all the kids, they know where to go
Oh, yes.
after club.
A lot of times I tell them, wait, let me get in here, get my seat, because
So you can't even get into your spot.
yeah, I got to sit down because they just sometimes get to pushing, and I got to hold it tight onto that bag because it'll end up on the floor.
Well,
And
you
they
used
get
to use your pockets, right?
Yes, I used to use my suit coat pockets when I first started, and that held plenty. But then it got so many kids, and I can't remember who gave me this bag. It was a race guy's bag, but it's just about wore out. I've had it for years and years.
Lots of candy has gone in and out of that bag.
I probably a pickup truckload. They get to digging, and when it's fairly full, they'll sometimes dig it clear out on the floor, and they have to pick it up. I tell you, I'll pick that up.
Because you have to get down to the bottom to see if there's anything
Yes,
special down there.
They'll dig clear to the bottom and pick out one that was laying on top.
Yeah.
They didn't have to dig, but they
had to work for it.
And I have had them to little kids be a digging and looking off and digging in my bag. They didn't know what they were
They
looking.
don't even care. They're just digging.
No, they just digging. They just love to dig.
Absolutely.
They probably don't get a chance to dig in that much candy
Right.
at home, and don't need to either.
Yeah.
But no, I started this many years ago. I would name some names if I could remember them that I give candy to the grown-ups here in the church now. Once in a while they'll tell me, hey, I remember getting candy off you.
Yeah. Well, I know you do it because you love them and because you love the Lord.
Absolutely.
When did you come to know Christ?
In 1979, July. maybe I'll tell you that story if I can do it without crying.
Sure.
Sue and I were having problems, and her mom was in Bloomington Hospital, and they didn't have a heart unit then. And they took her to Indianapolis to St. Vincent's, and they said they didn't know for sure what was the matter with her, but she was so weak that they didn't know whether she'd make it.
Yeah.
And I made a vow. I went up to the hospital, and part of the family treated me not so nice because we were having trouble.
Yeah.
And her brother and his wife were good Christian people, and they took us down and had coffee at the cafeteria and really treated us good, or me good. They didn't have any problem with Sue because it was all my fault. And I made a vow. I don't know who I made that vow to. That if Sophie got to come home, I'd go to church with her. And within 3 weeks, she was back home and back in church. And I kept that vow.
Yeah. Well, God was working through that situation.
Yes, absolutely.
And you saw it.
And Sue and I came to church, and we both got saved.
Oh, wow.
And it's made so much difference in my life. Our lives. At first, it wasn't as smooth, but the more we serve the Lord, and the more Sue and I have time together, it gets sweeter.
Yeah.
It just gets sweeter. I made a vow a couple of years ago that I wouldn't go to sleep. We'd go to bed, but I wouldn't go to sleep till I told her I loved her.
Yeah.
And I've tried to keep that.
That's a good habit to keep.
And I don't understand how people get saved and never serve the Lord. Yeah. I really don't. Yeah. And I've tried to be faithful. Yeah. I just I can't teach. I can't remember Bible verses like a lot of people, but I try to be faithful and serve Him as best I can. Whatever I do, I try to do right and do as good as I can.
Well, you have been faithful for a long time to love on the kids of this church
and
pass out candy. And right now, we can't do that because we're not here. But soon, we'll be able to get back into that.
I'll be back in my spot.
Enjoy some of those things again. So.
Yeah, I even give to the started giving it to the older
You better watch
ladies.
who you say older here.
Older. I didn't say old. I said older.
Okay, all right.
Yes. But then it's gotten to the place that some of the younger ones get it too. And I don't want them to do when we come back, handing the candy out or what. It's going to be a new experience.
I think a lot of things will be a new experience, but I'm sure there's ways that we can manage and figure out things. And
some of the ladies
get
won't
back to
care.
normal,
Some of them will be afraid to take candy free up.
Sure.
Give them a virus, and rightly so.
Sure.
But if they want me to do it, I'm going to do it.
Sure.
As long as I can afford to do it.
Yeah.
It
takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
And I don't have a lot. But
this is your way that you serve the Lord too. And
that
it's a blessing.
is something that's blessed me.
Yeah.
I have some of them try to get, every time I get close to them, they stick their hand out for another piece of candy.
Yeah.
Just jokingly,
Just for fun.
but we have a lot of fun doing that.
Right.
I'm not going to mention names. I would leave somebody out. Then some tell me not to give them any, that they're trying to stay off of chocolate.
Well, thank you for your ministry, Jim, and we appreciate what you do. And thank you for sharing your testimony with us, too.
Yes, I've always wanted to get up and say that, but I can't get up in front of people.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be a chance to
This
tell
will be
that.
a different way to do it.
I can't tell that without crying.
Yeah.
There used to be a song we started singing at the little church we went to for 10 years in between the times we were here. And I would ask people visiting singers would come in and ask them to sing that song, and then I'd cry, cry all the way through it.
Yeah.
I couldn't sing it myself for a long time, and it's How Great Thou Art,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's my favorite song.
Yeah.
I got where I can sing it now,
Yeah.
but it still touches my heart very much.
Well, thank you, Jim. We appreciate it, and thank
I
you for
hope-
your love of the Lord.
But I do. He's done so much for me.
Amen.